Hello everyone, I'm Renowned Zero and we're back again talking about some more Rippaverse attractors. Of course, we're going to include Buster Baxter, of course, in this conversation as he tries to stick his head out. Of course, trying to put himself as part of the whole Starfield controversy over the pronouns and trying to make fun of Az, which Az is just going to look at you and laugh and see how irrelevant you truly are, and Az just going to keep raking in the people who ultimately agree with him on his rant and everything he says in it, because people are just sick and tired of all the nonsense and the ideology and literally all forms of entertainment, which is what the full context of what Az was talking about. Which it happened after he had that clip where he saw the chick who was a clone of a man. He made that rant. He obviously likes Starfield, but all in all, he's allowed to call out the nonsense and put his opinion out there. But of course, big YouTubers think it's weird that he's doing that, but I'll get into that in another video. Probably gonna put that out tomorrow. Of course, you can still get your Rippaverse merch. Guys, your Rippaverse hoodies that you can pre-order. You got the short box, posters, the comic itself, shirts and hats. So we'll move over to Buster Baxter himself, who says, "Who cares about pronouns in video games? They already nerfed the bobs. You might as well be playing corn." So again, you're complaining about the nerfing of bobs, right? That's one of the parts where it's like, oh, it's not a big deal. That was one of the parts to, oh, it's not a big deal. Or what's the big deal? That's one of the parts, and the pronouns is just the next step into the it's not a big deal. What's the big deal? That they're there, and you're forced to pick your pronouns in the game. You are. People like Lofty Pixels will tell you that it's not forced. Yes, it is. And it's right there. And yet people can't tell you why it's in there. They'll tell you that it's never mentioned again in the game, so what's the point of it being there if it's never mentioned ever again in the game? It's pretty pointless for it to be there if that's the case. But no one can really answer why it's there in the first place. Dick, we know exactly who cares. Yeah. People like him and people like Actman and Angry Joe and Review Tech USA and Chief Keef, and all the other bigger YouTubers that seem to have a problem with Az putting his opinion on the internet. But I digress. Still obsessing over Eric July as usual. Oh wow, running an empty warehouse at a loss compared to any 3PL service is cutting into both your marketing and creating time. Who would have thought? Which I'm pretty sure he put this out before, but he seems to want to repost everything he ever says, because again, he wants people to re-see the same exact thing over and over again, and he thinks it's going to change the interaction in it, which once again, you have 27,300 plus followers and you can only muster up 100 likes. That's not a good look for you. That's really not a good look for you. Quote, "We only care about gender issues when they involve children." Makes sense. Puts pronouns in an adult 17 plus rated video game. Yes, again, back to the slippery slope where you were just complaining about the changes in the bobs in video games, yet, again, that's part of the slowly incrementing the changes into games that no one wants to care about. Say, oh, it's not a big deal, or what's the big deal? Pronouns is the next thing, like I already stated. Destiny Air July on a stream together right now, flooded with bunnies, 1 billion bunnies, which of course they did do, because, again, to Buster Baxter over here, harassment is okay when they do it, but apparently harassment is not okay when anyone else does it to them. It's always those that rules for thee, but not for me stuff. And yes, this is harassment. This is absolutely harassment. He ain't even talking about you, bro. He ain't even worried about you. He mentioned you in a video when he's talking about his trademark lawsuit, and you've been melting down ever since, and you're still melting down to this day. And you're going to continue to talk and you're going to continue to melt down because that's who you are. You try to take everything as a joke, bro, and then you sit here and melt down talking about it. Remember, originally you said you didn't care. Originally you said you didn't care, and yet for some reason you extremely care, quote unquote, and control your way into this conversation. And somehow you don't care? Okay, yeah, you definitely don't care. Put out this weird clip.
You know what I smell? Gay ops.
For anyone who genuinely laughed at that, I'm sorry. That was very bad. That was terrible. I don't know if that was supposed to be funny, but again, this is you instigating the fact that he called it gay ops, and I'm sorry you're too unintelligent to know what gay ops is, just like Bob from Organized Chaos when we went over in the live stream yesterday. I'm sorry you don't know what gay ops means, and I'm sorry that you're too unintelligent to figure it all out. Men spend 99% of every year telling each other they are men and not gay. A video game, are you a man? Again, this is not the same thing. This is gaslighting. This is not the same thing as someone putting pronouns. This is not the same thing, because pronouns are one thing and gender's another thing. And no, Lofty Pixels, this is not actually based. This is not based at all. You're on that side where it's not the, you're part of the it's not a big deal side. And I like you, Lofty. I've met you before. You're a cool dude. But this is not it. I'm saying it's not it. Because you're in the crowd of it's not a big deal. And then you're going to later probably complain about something else that you said, oh, it's not a big deal. You give them an inch and they'll take a mile. You say it's not a big deal now, and then when they hit you with something worse, kind of like what RGE would say, shout out to Raging Golden Eagle, go back, Blade Devil 2, now on Indiegogo. You're going to find out real soon. And then he does the same thing, but for women. Entire conservative griftosphere. This is a woman. Biological sex is a woman. Ovaries are a woman. Women are a woman is a woman. That's, again, not a sentence, but you're supposed to somehow think that this man can read. What is a woman? A video game. Are you a woman? Again, not the same thing as pronouns. Not the same thing as pronouns. But again, this person is in the culture war, supposedly, even though he doesn't know what is actually going on. He doesn't appear to know what it's actually going on in the culture war. Then he likes to say Melonie Mac has this sickness because she made fun of your fat P to the E to the D to the O friend, Vito. That's what you're mad about. You're mad that anyone makes fun of Vito. You gotta have something to say. Meanwhile, you say Eric is thin-skinned. Meanwhile, you say when people make fun of him that he reacts, right? But what are you doing? You're doing the exact same thing that you complain about Eric doing. So what she said, this dude is an actual threat to children, the most vulnerable and innocent class of people that every single one of us as adults have both the duty and obligation to protect at all costs when within our ability to do so. Vito gets no tolerance or excuses from me, not one ounce. And again, this is referring to tweets that resurfaced that he said were jokes, bro. They're just jokes, bro. They did not sound like jokes, which is why people are up in arms about them. See? Lol. God wants me to eat 5 sticks of butter every day. And yet, for some reason, she looks more healthier than you do. Just remember what I'm about to say. These are the type of people that I can tell you right now get no relations from women. I will stick to that. You clearly get no relations from women if this is your argument. This is not an argument. This is also not funny. So stop acting like this is funny. It's not. I guarantee you haven't had a woman that looks like Melonie Mac ever. So stop acting like you could get someone like her. I guarantee you can't. The way your funny looking ass looks. That's why people call you Buster Baxter, because you look like a goddamn rabbit. False accusers burn in heck, right? Are there any special exemptions for doing it to fit in with internet friends? Sorry, I'm not up to date on all my Bible stuff. So he's essentially saying it's a grift. He's essentially calling Melonie Mac a grifter without saying that she's a grifter. Dude, nobody cares. You're trying to latch on right now. You're calling other people grifters because you're trying to latch on to video games and comic books. 2 things you do not participate in. You don't participate in games and you don't participate in comic books because apparently comic books are for losers according to you, so clearly you don't participate in it. I digress. This is something he actually reposted. It says that this is a woke meltdown, even though it's a meltdown over Trump becoming president in 2016, and this is a based passion rant, which it was. Anyone who understood that this was a base passion rant has more brain cells to rub together than this person, or Vito, or Dick Masterson, or anybody that hangs around those people. Anybody that Vito hangs around do not have two brain cells to rub together. They are all below room temperature IQ. I can tell you that right now. He even puts out a poll. It says, "What's more triggering in video games?" Obviously, pronouns. Even your own audience is selecting pronouns. Which, by the way, I think, where is it? People got some stuff to say too. Even this person says, "To be fair, Melonie Mac's my kind of girl." No. I think the butter thing is false. You can't eat 5-6 of butter a day and not get fat. Incorrect. Clearly, she's not fat. Which one is Melonie Mac? I like that she has to remind us what kids are. Be cool, bro. She's easy to butter up. No pits, please. I'm half tempted to smear this with Land O'Legs and see what happens. You see, these are disgusting things that the people that follow Dicky Boy over here say about people like Melonie Mac. And shout out to Melonie Mac. She's a great channel. You should go follow her. She has fantastic peripheral vision. Don't see it. Thanks for the effort, I guess. Brutal takedown by small-faced Speedy Gonzalez. The pose says everything. No wonder she forgets to drink water. God forgot a chromosome. Again, this is the Rippaverse guy who was doxing the warehouse and even doxed one of Rippaverse's employees. Cope. Jesus doesn't like e-girls. This is what I see when she's trying to look young. I guarantee you're ugly as fuck, and you could never get a girl that looks like Melonie Mac. I'm sorry. This is a cope. I'm sorry, but this is a cope. Still would. 5-6 for only in my coffee. She'll get back to you next week. She's busy on a stream bouncing her bobs for children on YouTube. Disgusting stuff that you're saying. Comparison is way more accurate here. Vito's not a threat to kids unless he sits on one. This is really about the butter. She doesn't want him touching her stash. Wow. Dick, I thought you would have been stuck in the mud by now. It's like, these people make no sense. Pick a new target for your jealous temper tantrums, Dickie? Yes, he did. He actually picked 2 targets. He picked Az from HeelVsBabyFace and Melonie Mac. This seems to be a common trend with Buster Baxter nowadays because it seems like everyone else is terrible except for you. Even though you're one of the most terrible people I've ever seen in my entire life. Where are we at? Oh, he makes this comic book. Apparently this is Maddox, and this is Eric July, even though Eric July is not fat. He likes to claim this. He even put a photoshopped image of Eric July that made him look fat, even though he's not fat. And I guess this is supposed to be Buster Baxter down here. Is this the end for Buster Baxter? Dude, this is so badly drawn. It's not even funny. It's one of those things where, he's still trying to reclaim the Buster Baxter meme, and it's not working. It's never going to work because everyone just laughs at you because you are a lame piece of trash. You are an absolute lame piece of trash. That's just what you are. You're a lame piece of trash. This, of course, Eric responding to this person who was too much of a scaredy cat to make the supposed slur. And he just said it back to him because Eric's not scared. Bad luck for the International School of Ministry. Also, ISOM sucks is not a phrase I would want tossed around. Well, your book clearly sucks because ain't nobody talking about your book, Buster Baxter. Ain't nobody talking about Vito's book. It's not even out yet. And it's delayed. And I'm going to keep saying that. I bet I'll get Blade Devil 2 before anyone gets Super Killer. And that just went up for pre-order. By the way, shout out to Raging Golden Eagle. Go back. Blade Devil 2 on Indiegogo. And again, with this, I don't know what Eric could do about this, but it looks like, the logo from the ISOM comic books. And it looks like, he's talking about who is he and why does he disrespect the International School of Ministry. So essentially, instigating the trademark lawsuit once again, because this is what you do. You try to be this professional troll, and then when you get hit, and then eventually, if you get hit with papers, it will no longer be a laughing matter. It will no longer be a laughing matter at that point, and then you'll be like, well, how did that happen? That's what you'll be doing. You'll be questioning why it happened to you, if it happens, and then you'll be upset about it later. But to add the last thing, shout out to Grey Puppet. Go subscribe to him on YouTube. I don't know who the other guy is, but I'll leave a link for a great puppet in the description of this video, where he exposes actual fandom who wants to say that Eric July made threats to his friend, yet he's allowed to say this. Let's take a quick listen. And by the way, I'll actually leave a link to this video in the description as well. You can go check out the video over on Gray Puppet's channel.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Give me one sec. We're going to play it in just a moment.
Jesus fucking Christ. You can't even fucking spell simple words, dude. And you want me to fucking think that your opinion matters? If I met you in real life, I would fucking remove your head for being such a bigot fucking moron.
He will remove this. He will delete this guy. Let's listen to that one more time.
Jesus fucking Christ. You can't even fucking spell simple words, dude. And you want me to fucking think that your opinion matters? If I met you in real life, I would fucking remove your head for being such a bigot fucking moron.
Okay.
Huh. So, perhaps we spoke too soon, because he did say if he met him in real life, he would remove his fucking head.
So yeah, that's the type of people we're dealing with that like to claim that they're the good guys, even though they say that Eric makes threats, but this guy clearly made a threat to somebody that was watching his live stream. It's pretty interesting, and I actually listened to all of this. It's pretty dang good. Like I said, I'll leave a link to the video in the description below. And I thank you all for watching this video. Really do appreciate all the new subscribers, returning subscribers, new viewers, returning viewers. Just remember, if you're not subscribed yet, please hit the subscribe button. I noticed that people are watching and they're not subscribed. To make it easier to find my channel and find my videos, hit subscribe. Click the bell for notifications and set the bell to all. Comment below what you feel about all this. Hit the bell for notifications. Set the bell to all that we get notifications anytime I post a new video or live stream. And I will see you all on the next one. Peace.